Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman is set to undergo surgery on his ankle. Also, the rumors are already percolating. The hot stove is here, and the Dodgers are attached to elite relievers. And I think the Dodgers are going to get one of these 5 relievers we're going to talk about on this show. Also, could we finally see a Dodgers minor leaguer that's been paying his dues, that's been putting in work, that's been waiting for his opportunity, get a chance in the outfield next season? All that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade! We got a parade! The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series! Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock! Milky Magic! Freeman hits the ball to right field! She is gone! Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation, a credentialed member of the media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. This show is sponsored by and brought to you by the LA Sports Report. Go to the LA Sports Report right now and subscribe. That's my new show, my new channel, new company I'm working for about all LA sports. Lots of Dodgers content over there. We've been throwing some Dodgers content over there, sneaking some stuff in. It's a precursor to some of these shows. So go to the LA Sports Report. We're doing live breakdowns over there as well, as long as you got Lakers, you got Rams, Chargers, USC, UCLA, Clippers, everything LA sports. So definitely do me a huge favor. If you really want to support me, go to the LA Sports Report on YouTube. Subscribe also the podcast as well. We're doing interviews. Got Kenley Jansen coming up over there. Going to be exciting. Also sponsored by GearUp.LA. That's where we got all of our T-shirt merch. The best Dodgers T-shirts in the game. Go to GearUp.LA for that. And also, if you guys want to support the show, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and let me know, what are your thoughts on the Dodgers reliever situation? And we've got some more comments, by the way. I'm going to spend a lot of time in the comments. And I got someone saying they want me to shout them out. So sometimes, just so you know, this is a live show. As you can see in the corner, I got the live button. Don Kim, let's go D-back. Sneaky Panda, Sweet. Faso Lola says, here for my baseball fix. Good evening, D-Mac. Yeah, it is definitely a lot of stuff already happening. D-Mac, what is up? Valor. We've got Brian Gax in the chat. We've got Justin, Kenneth, Pickle Bush. What is up, guys? We got Mario Landaverde, Kim in left field from Lone. Okay, so, guys, it's time for Dodgers Dugout Live. And there's so much Dodger baseball to get into. So let's get right into it. And first here, we're going to start with these latest rumors that are starting to surface. And the first one I want to talk about is let's start with Jeff Passan, who put out a piece today that had a couple interesting nuggets in that piece. And the first one, it says, the Dodgers are not inclined to go 10-plus years on Kyle Tucker. They don't need Kyle Schwarber, and they're starting pitching with the return of 7 pitchers who contributed in 2025, along with River Ryan and Gavin Stone coming back from major surgeries, is a strength. While they have plenty of room to maneuver for a trade, the most obvious is to hope the second time's the charm in spending big money on a closer after Tanner Scott's disappearing act this year, and it's to sign free agent closer Edwin Diaz. So that is his perfect transaction, this perfect scenario for the Dodgers. He also wrote, the perfect transaction, the team that has everything, the stars, the rings, the money, doesn't need more. That's not how the Dodgers operate, though. Los Angeles is always hunting for improvements, and this winter, they're unlikely to come via a massive financial splash. So interesting stuff there. And Edwin Diaz is certainly one of the best relievers still in Major League Baseball. Last season, he completely got right for the New York Mets. He was fantastic, and he saw the whiff rate was on top of the game, 99th percentile. The strikeout rate, 38th percentile. 38%, the 99th percentile. Edwin Diaz is certainly a guy that if you want to just say, hey, we want to operate at the top of the market, we want to be that team that can just flex our financial muscle, go get the biggest and best name available, go get a proven name that still has elite stuff, that's north of 30, that is a guy that you can say, look, we saw what happened last year to Tanner Scott, but we feel like this year we're more confident in this investment in Edwin Diaz. He could certainly be that guy. And we'll talk more about how he is as a player and where he is as a pitcher and what it would cost to bring in an Edwin Diaz. Because last year, the Dodgers, it's well documented. We talked about it all season. You really spent big on Tanner Scott. And Tanner Scott cost you $72 million. He led the league in blown saves. The ERA went from 1.75 to almost 5. And you couldn't trust him. I mean, he was about as dependable as the ice cream machine at your local McDonald's, right? But Edwin, just because, here's the thing. Like, I hate the idea of, it was a cautionary tale. Because of what happened with Tanner Scott, it should preclude you to go out there and fill an important need to get Edwin Diaz because the buyer's remorse. I'm not doing that again. I think that the reason it did happen is a reason to do it again because the Dodgers have already made it clear at this point that they have zero interest in trading for top-end relievers during the season because that's when prices are high. That's when you are paying hotel minibar prices. The Dodgers, they want to buy the Halloween candy after Halloween when it's at a discounted rate and also when you don't have to give up top prospects. You don't want to pay up what the Padres did to get Mason Miller or the Phillies what they gave up to get Johan Duran. You either want to flex your financial muscle because business is booming. You got Shohei Ohtani, you already paid that off. You're profiting off him. You're generating an insane amount of revenue, 4 million fans in attendance, playing 13 game wins, and then you're playing an additional round that gave you 2 extra playoff games in the wild card round. I mean, who knows what the books look like for the Dodgers, but I'm sure they are well in the green because they're making a lot of green. And that is a reason to live at the top of the market and go and treat yourself to something nice. And treating themselves to something nice is getting Edwin Diaz on your squad. Now, let's take a deeper look at Edwin Diaz in the season that he did have last season because he certainly has proven to still be an elite closer, an elite reliever. He already set the record for the largest guaranteed contract for a reliever when he signed a $102 million deal that had a $20.4 million AAV. And it was a 5-year deal. It allowed him to opt out and get back into free agency. And because he had a really good year, he did that because he only had 2 years and $38 million remaining on his contract. So he's now saying, okay, I've established myself as an elite reliever once again. And I came off that fluke injury where he hurt his knee in the WBC celebrating. And now he's set to sign a contract anywhere between $80 and $90 million. The projections right now, 4 years, around $82 million. So that puts you at around $22 million AAV, something in that range. And he could get another 5-year deal. He could even get a 5-year deal depending on how active the market is. But the truth is, he's really good. And the Dodgers need a closer. For anyone out there that likes the Bailando the Roki song, I love it too. I want to hear it in the first inning, though. I want to hear it in the first inning when Roki is warming up, when he is establishing himself as an elite starter. I was in Dallas I was in Dallas last year for the winter meetings, and I was in Andrew Friedman's suite on the top floor of the hotel, and I heard Andrew Friedman say to us, hey, we feel like Hiroki Sasaki can be the best pitcher in the world. He feels like he can be the best pitcher in the world. So that tells you everything you need to know about the mindset of Hiroki Sasaki. He still has designs of being a lead starting pitcher. He did not come here from the Chibalote Marines and go through everything he went through to be thrown in as a high leverage reliever, to be a closer. Sure, it's nice to know that that can be his floor if things don't work out as a starter, and most elite relievers were original failed starters, so it's nice to know they can perform in that role, but there is zero chance that that is what they're going to do next season, is thrust him into that role permanently. That's not happening. I can tell you that with full confidence right now. And then on top of that, you can't rely on Tanner Scott. You can't rely on Blake Trinan. Evan Phillips went down with Tommy John surgery. You need to go out there and get active because you have a chance of 3P and do something incredibly special. And just looking at Edwin Diaz's numbers from last season, I mean, they're incredibly impressive. He went 66 in the third innings, had 28 saves, had a 38% strikeout rate, an 8.1% walk rate, which is below average, but still the pros outweigh the cons. He's not averaging 99 miles per hour on his four-seamer anymore, but he averaged 97.2 in 2025 and an 18% swinging strike rate. That's elite. That's the fourth best among 287 big league pitchers who went at least 60 innings. The only pitchers that he was behind was Mason Miller, Aroldis Chapman, and Griffin Jacks. Also a 62% opponent's contact rate. It's the fourth lowest in Major League Baseball. So all the numbers say that he's elite, and there are other guys out there. We'll talk about those ones. But if we're talking about the top name available, we're talking about Edwin Diaz. And look, if it's me and I'm the Dodgers, and I feel like he still has the ability to get guys out at a high clip and be that elite closer that he's proven to be, I do it. I really would. I mean, this is a move where if the Dodgers want him and he wants the Dodgers, I could certainly see it happening. Certainly see it happening. Is it a guarantee? No, because, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money to pay for a reliever. But I also think, too, they almost feel like they're playing with a little bit of house money, because now you can fully say that the Ohtani era is a success, even if they don't win the World Series for the next 8 years. But that doesn't mean that it can't be an even bigger success, right? It can't be a disappointment at this point, but it can continue to grow its legend. And that is where they're at. And adding a closer like Diaz could do that. Now, the next rumor we've got to talk about is about Devin Williams, the airbender. And we talked about him a lot on this show last couple of years because he's been a target, and the Dodgers have interest in Devin Williams, according to Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic. The Marlins are another team that's said to be interested, and he has been one of the best relievers in the league since he really established himself. I mean, a 1.83 ERA in 6 seasons in Milwaukee, had a sub-2 ERA for 3 straight years from 2022 to 2024. Relievers with at least 100-plus innings in that stretch. He was just behind the guy we just talked about, Edwin Diaz, and Felix Bautista with a 39.5% strikeout rate. Only issue, though, is that he had that back fracture that he wasn't able to pitch in the first half of 2024, and then the Brewers ended up trading him to the Yankees. The Yankees! And it didn't go that great in the Bronx. He struggled early on. He had an up-and-down season, but there's a lot of data and numbers that can tell you that he can get back to being the guy that he's been throughout most of his career, because he had a 34.7% strikeout rate, and he got swinging strikes 17% of the time. Those aren't at the level of his heights in Milwaukee, but that's still top 15, 20 range in Major League Baseball. His 94.1 mile per hour four-seam fastball average, that was consistent with his his career averages. He also gets tons of movement with that changeup, basically a screwball pitch, the airbender. And opponents, they had a 339 batting average on balls in play when runners are on base. So ran into some bad luck. And I think, too, if you're the Dodgers, you're looking at the sequencing. You're looking at the Yankees. You're looking at the fact that you do everything better than the Yankees, playing, coaching, and everything in between. And you feel like he could be a much better pitcher in your organization. And the Yankees, they didn't want to accept a $22.025 million qualifying offer to get him back to New York. And still, I mean, this is a guy that really is in this class. I still think that even though it didn't quite meet the expectations that people had for him last year, I still see a lot of upside there. And sometimes that's the best time to get a guy, right? Sometimes it's the best time to pick up a pitcher like a Devin Williams, because look, he had his age 30 season, a 4.79 ERA in 62 innings with the Yankees. The home runs weren't really an issue, which is kind of the overall hits, and the strikeout rate was down a little bit, but it was still 13.1 strikeouts per 9. And I look at him as a real possibility as well in a different light, because the peripherals are really strong, and that, hey, like I said, Brandon Gomes, he said today in Las Vegas that he 100% absolutely still views Roki Sasaki as a starter. So that's not an option. Brusdar Graterol, Brock Stewart, they're not going to stay healthy. I mean, there's just nowhere to go. You need to go out there and get a top-level guy. Alex Vesia, he's more of a high-leverage guy as your lefty out of the pen. Kirby Yates is gone. Blake Trinan. Look, I mean, they brought him back on a 2-year deal, but still, he's not going to be that guy. So, I mean, where do you go for the Dodgers? Where do you go? And I think they will overlook that ERA to acquire someone like a Devin Williams. I really do. And that's another name that you have to talk about as well. So you got Edwin Diaz 1, you got Devin Williams 2, and then how about Robert Suarez? And I'll probably duck saying this, and before you throw up, before you gag, before you say WTF DMAC, Robert Suarez, you mean the dude that threw at Shohei Ohtani? You mean the dude that was a San Diego Padre? You mean that guy? Why would I want him on my team? Well, the reason you would want him on your team is because he's not going to cost as much as an Edwin Diaz, and you're not going to have to break the bank on him like that. And then on top of that, he's a guy that he's still really good too. I mean, he really is good, and he's someone that wouldn't cost you $80+ million. You're more of the 38 to 43 to basically $45 to $50 million range. I mean, his projections right now, you look at him, 3 years, $48 million. So you're not looking 5 years for him, and he's coming off really good years. I mean, he's got back-to-back years with at least 65 innings of work in sub-3 ERA performance. He led the National League with 40 saves in 2025. He's had an MLB high 76 saves over the last 2 years. He's got a 27.9% strikeout rate. He cut down the walks to a 5.9% walk rate, a 2.97 ERA, a career high 69 giggity and 2/3 innings. And yeah, I mean, look, there were some down moments in those summer months, June, July. But really, he was a dominant reliever in a really good bullpen down in San Diego. The second half of the season, a 2.17 ERA, almost a 30% strikeout rate. And you've seen some more hard contact, and there's some things there, but the strikeout, the whiff rates are good. And it's not elite like Edwin Diaz. He's got a couple 99-mile-per-hour heaters. He's got a low 90s changeup that he can get some swing and miss with. But he's also kind of dealt with pressure, too, kind of being in those games with the Padres. So I don't love the idea of Robert Suarez, but I'm not against the idea of Robert Suarez. I think you got to have to kind of open up. You got to kind of open up your mind a little bit. And yes, he did hit Ohtani. He did hit Ohtani. I see you guys freaking out. D-Mac, my goat. What up? What up, Roman? Yeah, I get it. There is a hatred towards a guy, a distaste towards a guy that threw at our goat, Shohei Ohtani, but makes me think of Kobe Bryant. Remember when Kobe Bryant said to Matt Barnes, you had the famous incident where Matt Barnes pump fakes the ball and Kobe doesn't flinch, and Kobe told Matt Barnes, any player that's crazy enough to F with me is crazy enough to play with me. Or when Kobe went out there and he got the Lakers to go get Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, there's that. There's that. And then there's also, Shohei Ohtani was joking. I saw Shohei Ohtani at the All-Star game when I was down in Atlanta. He was joking with Robert Suarez, too. So I don't think Shohei would not be against this deal if he thought that it could help him win. Shohei just wants to win championships. What do you say at the parade? I just want to win a third one, right? So I'm ready for my next ring. Hey, what did Tom Brady say? What's your favorite championship? The next one? I think Shohei Ohtani is already thinking about that next championship, and that's the most important thing to him, and Robert Suarez is a guy that can help him get there. Now, other guys, Kenley Jansen, you could probably get him on the cheap. Do you really want to go through that whole Kenley Jansen experience, the California adventure? That's debatable. But I think at the bargain price you could get him at, it'd be interesting. He finishes his career in LA. That'd be pretty interesting. He's not one of those top flight free agents, but that's interesting. And another thing I'll throw out there too, the fifth guy, I think the Dodgers will get one of these five guys, and possibly some other ones we'll bring out later. But Ryan Helsley, you can get him for 2 years, $24 million. And he has been a guy that the Dodgers have been interested in from afar for a couple years now. From 2022 to 2024, he had a 1.83 ERA, went 167 and 2/3 innings, had 82 saves, a 34.6% strikeout rate, 9.2% walk rate, and he gets traded at the deadline to the Mets, and my man absolutely got smacked. A 7.2 ERA in 22 innings with the Mets. He gave up as many home runs in 2 months with the Mets and 4 than he did in 2 years with the Cardinals. So, yeah, he got some bad luck in Flushing, Queens, a 3.62 BABIP. The strand rate was at 52.6%. There was some talk that he was tipping pitches. And, yeah, the good thing is he's still averaging over 99 miles per hour on his fastball, but the strikeout rate's gone down for the last couple of years. That's what concerns me. At his peak, the strikeout rate was elite at 39.3%, and now it's at 25%. And 25% is not the worst in the world, but it's not where it was when he was elite. The swinging strike rate's good, though, at 14.9%. That's still in elite territory. But when he was at his best, that number was at 17.4% for his swing strike rate. That number's down to 14.9%. But, hey, the bottom line here is early offseason takeaways. The first, I think, big early offseason takeaway that you need to know. The first one is the Dodgers are big game hunting on a top-end reliever, and they're looking at the top of the market, and they're looking to rebuild this bullpen. And Roki Sasaki is not an option to be a closer. So one thing I can guarantee you is when spring training starts, there is going to be a new top dog in that Dodgers bullpen. Whether that come via trade, whether that come via free agency, that is right at the top of the list. And I'm going to drop my episode of the Dodgers top needs, top free agents. All the fun stuff is on the way, for sure. But they're going to get a top-end closer, 100%. Let me know who you guys got. D-Mac should come out of the pen and close. Man, I'd be like a mix of Kike with the batting helmet, but Lance Lynn. I'd be going my full Lance Lynn, who just, by the way, fun fact, just gave up another home run. Finish him. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. Got some more news to get into. So Brandon Gomes, he did confirm today that Tommy Edman is set to undergo surgery on his right ankle. He's expected to be ready by the start of spring training, But if you know the Dodgers, and I know you do, they're not going to rush it back. And this could have a big impact, not just on next season, but on the Dodgers' plans this offseason when it comes to going after an outfield option. Now, let's talk some Tommy Edman for a second. Tommy Tanks signed that extension in the offseason, and coming off an NLCS MVP, you feel good about that. The Dodgers have had their eyes on him for a while. 5 years, $74 million, runs through the 2029 season as a club option for 2030. Also, you got some escalators, some bonuses in there, but that's around the price of it. And this year, he got up to a really strong start. I remember talking to Tommy Tanks in Tokyo saying, bro, what is up with the power? And he just said, look, I made some adjustments and kind of launching more. And his first 24 games of the season, he had a .576 slugging percentage. He was on pace for 30, 40 home runs. But he would really see that power decline over the course of the year. And he went on the injured list on May 3rd. He came back into the lineup on May 18th. He wasn't the same guy for the rest of the season. The next 56 games after that. So his first 24 games had 8 home runs, slugging .566, goes on the IL, comes back May 18th, and then for the next 56 games, hit .214. That slug went from .576 to .323 and hit 4 home runs and had 20 RBIs. And then he was placed on the IL on August 4th. He missed over a month, came back on September 10th, and he was healthy for the rest of the season, but the numbers just weren't the same. His final line, his numbers for 2025, he hit .225, had a .274 on base, a .382 slug, had 13 home runs, which tied his career high, had 49 RBIs, but he was 19% below league average offensively. So, like I said, this is the Keep It 100 Dodgers show, and I love Tommy Edman, but the first year of that contract was not great. It just wasn't. And it definitely, he underperformed. He was below average offensively. Defensively, he was limited because of the ankle. And then now he has the surgery, which hopefully will get him back to 100%. And we'll see what that entails as far as how he can move forward, because his value comes at the fact that he is a Swiss Army knife. He is a guy that has positional versatility, but I do think that the Dodgers now need to think long and hard about adding a center fielder as a bridge guy, as a guy that can possibly be there permanently, because you look at the options right now. Alex Call's coming back, Teoscar Hernandez coming back, Andy Paz is coming back, and Andy Paz has gotten better at defense, and Teoscar, a -9 outs above average. He was one of the worst outfielders in the sport defensively. I think you got to go out there and sign an outfielder. I mean, I think there's no question about it. Whether that be go crazy with the Kyle Tucker, which right now doesn't feel like that's the plan, or it's maybe a bridge guy. Who did I want at the deadline? Who was my guy? Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader can run the bases, hits the ball hard, he grinds. And if you give for 2 or 3 years, take him to his age 31 to 33 seasons, I would be mad at that. Cody Bellinger is a guy we've talked about. I mean, there's going to be some. I mean, Trent Grisham's out there. You get him for $67 million. I'm not in on that. I'm not a big Trent Grisham guy. Cedric Mullins is a free agent. But the bottom line is they got to go out there and get an outfielder. They really, really do. Like, they have to go get an outfielder, because you can't rely on Tommy Edman's ankle anymore. Kike Hernandez, if they do re-sign him, he's not an everyday player, and he's a guy that you need to maintain his positional versatility, because that's how you get value out of him, and he's a guy that's been banged up throughout the years too. So the other interesting name, though, and this is the other biggest takeaway for me, was Brandon Gomes talking about Ryan Ward. So we mentioned Ryan Ward a couple of days ago, and we mentioned the fact that Ryan Ward was added to the Dodgers 40-man roster last Thursday, and Ryan Ward's a baller, man. Ryan Ward can rake. He won the Pacific Coast League MVP last year. He's 27 years old, which feels like you're 47 years old at the minor league level. But he was asked, Brandon Gomes, Dodgers general manager, about Ryan Ward. Could he be an option? And Gomes said, quote, he's done everything he possibly can in AAA. He's got power. He controls the zone. He can play a solid corner outfield. He can mix in at first base if needed. Wardo has put himself in a position to help us at some point, and we're excited to see him get in there and get some reps. So Ryan Ward, will he get his opportunity? I would like to see it. I would like to just see if he can get a chance at the minor league level to see if that bat translates. And yes, the defense has never profiled or projected as great defense, but this is a Dodgers team that has already proven and shown that they're willing to overlook subpar defense for above average hitting. Look at Teoscar Hernandez. Look at some of the other offensive weapons they've had throughout the years. If Ryan Ward can rake and you have him at the cheap and you use him as a bridge, hey, give me Ryan Ward as a potential option. And I'm just excited. To me, it's the Family Guy episode with the mystery box. You know, when Peter and Lois, they go to that timeshare meeting, and the timeshare presentation guy's like, hey, we've got this boat here, and it's one of those model boats, and he shows it to Peter, or we have the mystery box. What do you want? And Peter's like, give me the mystery box. He's like, and then Lois like, but Peter, take the boat. You wanted the boat, right? And he's like, yeah, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. And then what happens? He opens the box, and it's 2 tickets to a crappy comedy show, right? So I'm a big mystery box guy. I want to see what's in the mystery box. I want to see Ryan Ward get an opportunity. But now let's go to you guys. It's the 7th inning stretch, and I want all your thoughts, comments, questions, Peter, on all things Dodger baseball. That's coming up next on the 7th inning stretch. And I got some comments here. A boat's a boat. There we go. Classic episode. Exactly. I love that episode, man. And, yeah, I see Mike Trout. Bro, so Zaire Hope, that's the other thing, too. So Zaire Hope, hosts with Apollo, they're in their 20s. They are 20, and the soonest you're going to probably see them making a contribution would be at the end of next season. So it's really not on the table to start the year. But let's get some more first to ever do it. Mike Trout. Look, the Mike Trout situation, I was going to save that for another episode. But Mike Trout's always interesting. I mean, obviously, you would have to find a way to get him. And would Artie Moreno ever want to do that? Yeah, that's a no for me if you're him, right? Do you really want to give him to the Dodgers and have him win a championship? You already see Shohei winning a championship. Mike Trout, would he be the next guy? I think that would really, really just destroy him. The interesting thing about Mike Trout is, I mean, look, he had the WAR god had a 1.5 WAR last year. And he did play, if you look at kind of where he was at, he played 22 games in right field and 106 as a DH. So he's been mainly DHing. I'm going to do some more digging on Mike Trout. Obviously, the contract is what it is. It's just kind of fun to talk about, but it doesn't seem like it's a very realistic possibility. But anything can happen. Stretch me. What the? Jay, you're crazy. That Family Guy reference, yeah. We got you can't have Ward and Teoscar in the same outfield. That's a nightmare. That's a good point, for sure. Jarren Duran would be great. Anthony Volpe. Nah, Anthony Volpe, no thank you. Next live stream, I should have gotten the boat. Yeah, Ryan Ward is the 2026 Conforto pass from Bob Connolly, but you're not really that invested, right? I mean, if either he crushes it and he's killing it for you, or he's gone, right? J.Y. Kim, I say left field, Brandon Lowe. Center, we got Diaz, Alcantara. Yeah, I mean, they're really solid on starting pitching right now, for sure. Mike Trout wash from Poison Clan. Leave Trout alone. He plays golf in October. Sports cards, report cards. Sign Nico Harrison to be the new closer. No, we need Nico Harrison. Like my friend Justin said, we need Nico Harrison to become the GM of the Pirates and trade as Paul Skeens. How about that? I like that. Yay on Devin Williams. If cheap, Trout is a legend. 4-seater D-Mac. What is up? We got Volpe, Trout. We've got can we watch Tommy's surgery? Yeah, you want to. I love it. Bring back Alana. We got Suarez and C's for $5. D-Mac. Yeah, my true one is Peter. Skeens will be the next Trout if he doesn't leave the Pirates. That's a good take. D-Mac, you a Lakers fan? Absolutely. Been a Lakers fan my whole life. Cover the Lakers. Diehard leader of the purple and gold. You get Diaz and Tanner, turns around, and then we have locks for the 8th and 9th inning. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm not ruling out the possibility of Tanner Scott performing for this team. I'm really not. Andy Chen, $4.99. And if I need to convince you to come here to carry that legacy forward, then you ain't the one to be it. Kobe Bryant. Yeah, the Dodgers aren't for everyone. That's for sure. Snafu, this is an early comment of the show contender. We've got Salmon greater than side Trout. I like that. Ellis Shiva Jones. We've got Braveheart. Nico Harrison would be the Mets' new GM. Trade away Juan Soto and eat his contract. Bring back Brett Butler for center field. Why not? Let's go Lakers and Dodgers. J.Y. Kim. No more LeBron team doing good without him. USC, UCLA. What's up, Moreno? We got Paul. Scott was terrible this past season. Enrique Edman will be another Taylor bad contract. It remains to be seen. It really does. I think that the early returns, he had some moments in the postseason for sure, and I think he still profiles to be the player that they're hoping he can be. There always has been some injury knocks towards him, and the good thing is that he won. He won LCS MVP, got paid, and it's not like he's totally over, right? He's trying to get right, and that's the most important thing. There's no doubt about the fact that they still feel like he can contribute to this team in a lot of different ways. It's just about getting him healthy, and I give him a lot of credit. Just talking to him, I remember getting to Dodger Stadium really early covering games, and man, like when I tell you that there were most of the Dodgers probably weren't even at the field at the stadium. Like they were still probably in their cars on their way to the stadium, and Tommy Edman is out there full sweat, has his team around him, and he's running full sprints, and he's trying to get right. So it's not a matter of work ethic or anything like that. And I think hopefully it's like a Steph Curry situation, right? Where he's accepting that the ankle gives him issues, and maybe he's compensating, and maybe he develops his core in other areas, his hips, to try to make sure that these issues don't continue for the rest of his career. By the way, how about Dave Roberts? 0 votes for NL Manager of the Year. Pat Murphy, he wins Manager of the Year. Terry Francona was second. Rob Thompson of the Phillies, third. I get it. Give Pat Murphy the award. I'm fine with that. I actually like Pat Murphy. Little cringe, but I'm fine with that. They got off to a bad start. They got swept by the Yankees to start the year, and then ends with the best record in baseball, 97-65. I'm totally fine with that. But Dave Roberts finishing outside of the top 7 for the first time in his Dodgers managerial career. It's a regular season award, and the Dodgers, I guess, disappointed by winning just 93 games at 93-69. That was the lowest win total for the Dodgers since 2018. But hey, it was still a good enough record to win the 12th NL West title in the last 13 seasons. And when you consider the injuries to the starting rotation, the bullpen issues they had throughout the year, I still think that he deserved some consideration. And look, the truth is, he's a Hall of Famer, and that's the most important thing. He doesn't need to win a Manager of the Year this year. And I think the last 2 years have been Dave Roberts' best years as a manager. Winning the World Series with 2.5 starters last year, pushing all the right buttons, and then this year, winning the World Series where you got basically no bullpen and your offense is scoring less than 4 runs per game, and you look at those moves. Dave Roberts is the guy. For everyone out there that says Dave Roberts relies too much on analytics, I can tell you from my sources talking to people that Miguel Rojas being inserted into the lineup was 100% a Dave Roberts move and decision. And without Miguel Rojas, you don't have a tie game in Game 7. You probably don't have that double play in Game 6. Well, without Miguel Rojas, we probably don't have a Game 7, right? If he doesn't catch that ball. So that was a Dave Roberts move. How about inserting Andy Pages with 1 out in the 9th inning to make that big catch in center field and essentially in left field to end that inning. So, yeah, I do think it was look, and I see Doc was good in the last game of the World Series only. I disagree with that. I really do. I mean, you sweep the Brewers, you go on the road and win 2 games against the Phillies. He made some really nice pulls in that series to go with Roki Sasaki for 3 innings the way he did, the way he managed the bullpen the way he did, the way he managed the bullpen in Game 3 of the World Series. So I think you have a short memory or you just don't like Dave Roberts. And if you don't like Dave Roberts, just say it. It'll just at least I know why. But, hey, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. But the truth is Dave Roberts is going to be a Hall of Famer, and there's zero doubt about it at this point. Like, Dave Roberts is going to Cooperstown. No manager, no player will ever wear 30 for the Dodgers again. He is going to go to the Hall of Fame. Like, that is going to happen. It's kind of crazy to think that because of all the vitriol and all the arrows he's had aimed at him for over the years, but he's going to the Hall of Fame, and it's awesome. And it should be a great thing because the Dodgers truly have a Hall of Fame manager. And it's pretty awesome because it was just a well-managed series. The Dodgers don't win the World Series without Dave Roberts. And, yeah, I mean, the trust that he had in players was pretty awesome. Blue Jays will cry with maple syrup. Are they still crying? I don't like Dave Roberts when the Dodgers are losing. There you go. Exactly. I mean, think about it. I mean, he's got more titles than Lasorda now, and he's probably going to get more. You know, it's pretty wild to think of the run that he's on. We got probably a Drake with that take. Respect to the doc. Fire Roberts. There you go. By the way, you guys know any takes you guys want to have. I'm totally fine with that. This is your forum to get out everything you got to get out. So that's where the news is today. It's going to heat up. There was some more. There was some more Brandon Gomes stuff we'll get into tomorrow. But the biggest thing today that you have to know, Tommy Edman set to have surgery, and that they are interested in a high leverage reliever, and it's going to be one of the guys that I mentioned. I think it's pretty confident saying that. But it's heating up, guys. It's tomorrow we're going to do a full roster breakdown. I'm going to release my top 10 free agent targets. Hey, I love the offseason. I love it because that's when championships are won. That's when championships are lost. There's going to be some surprise signings, some surprise trades. And I also think that when you look at where this Dodgers team is, the fact that the early indication that they have zero interest in slowing down should just make you that happy again to be a Dodgers fan. It is a great time to be alive and be a Dodgers fan. This planet has been around for billions of years, and we just happen to be alive in the golden age of Dodger baseball. But here for the walk-off, this kind of made me sad. I saw this tweet. This is from Andrew at Dodgers Dry Phone. Not sure what that means. But this is a black and white photo, and it reads, "And then there was none," and a heartbreak emoji and a sad face. And the picture is an all-star picture, an all-star game picture of Corey Seager, Kenley Jansen, Cody Bellinger, Clayton Kershaw, Alex Wood, and Justin Turner. And yep, it does feel like it's the end of an era. If Kike Hernandez is back, he would be the one remaining player from that 2017 team. But yeah, what a time. And it always will feel painful that this team was, I mean, look, you won in 2020, and you would love to win in 2017. And this team got it done. You really did. But that's just a different era of Dodger baseball. We miss Corey. We miss Kenley. We miss Cody. Who knows? Cody could be back too. Kershaw's retired. Alex Wood's retired. JT's coming back for his 18th season. So that's going to be exciting. But, yeah, let me know. Let's get your comments real quick. How does that picture kind of make you guys feel? Let's read some more. We got Dark Matter. D-Mag, will this year be the year the Dodgers have a 6-man rotation? They're going to try. I mean, they tried last year, and I think with Roki as a starter and Yamamoto, all the innings he pitched there, and Shohei Ohtani, I do think that this would be the year that it makes the most sense. We've got D-Mac, Ben Rortvedt trade bait. If you look at Ben Rortvedt as a player that got an opportunity for this team, and if he made the most of that opportunity and how basically you maximize it, he certainly did. I think just what really stands out with Ben Rortvedt is the way that the pitchers responded to him. Just really appreciate his game calling, his pitch framing. And look, he still is eligible for salary arbitration. He has got 3.135 years of service time. His 2026 projection is $1.3 million. So, yeah, I think the Rottweiler is going to be in a good spot with this organization for sure. We've got some more here. Wow, what a photo. I know, right? I will miss Kershaw from Ellis Shiva Jones. Oh, wow, I thought that was a photo from the 40s from J.Y. Kim. That picture means you're getting old, D-Mac. You think so? I don't know. It was 2017. It's not like I showed you a picture of the Brooklyn Dodgers, the boys of summer, man. We've got, damn, time flies. I know, it really does. That was, 8 years ago? 7 years ago? The Poison Clan D-Mac missing those left pavilion thick tortas. Yeah, they actually served those there. Actually, I had one. They were nice. They were delicious. D-Mac, when Rojas retires, do you think he'll be a coach of the Dodgers? That's his goal. And I think that there's a better chance now than it was. D-Mac, will the trumpet play when Diaz goes to the Dodgers? Look, I'll show you guys something. Thanks for bringing that up. Was that Brianna? A couple years ago. Let's see. Yeah, it was Brianna. A couple years ago, when I was at Dodger Stadium, I forgot why I was there. It was in the off season, but I ended up, maybe this is like me manifesting. Maybe this is me manifesting Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers. Here, check this out. Hey, maybe. Who knows? Maybe that was it. Give me Edwin Diaz. I'm telling you, I'm here for it. Let's see it again. Actually, you know what? Zero aura. Padres board burner. I agree with you. Hey, maybe like one. Maybe one on the aura scale. Come on, so much aura there. Back to closer. I agree with you guys. But all right, that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you have not yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Yeah, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And make sure that you go over and you subscribe to the LA Sports Report. That is who sponsored the show. That is for my Lakers fans, my Rams fans, my Chargers fans. If you're a fan of all things LA sports, you want to support me and the channel, that is certainly the place to go do it. And join the Discord. You got thousands of Dodgers fans talking ball all day, every day on that Dodgers Nation Discord. Lots of fun being had over there. So definitely join the Discord. Always great to see you guys debating, I guess I should say. And there's always a lot of fun over on the Discord. I see you guys always doing your thing over there. But yep, guys, that is going to do it for this episode. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit that like button on your way out. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, ready to parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series.